Welcome back. This is patch 1.03 for Practisim Designer. First off, a big thank you to all those who have helped me troubleshoot some issues or provided feedback on Discord and through the feedback tool. This goes a long way to help me make the tool even better. So let's take a look at what's new in 1.03. A bunch of bug fixes, a ton of bug fixes. I think I went through hours and hours trying to squash all these bugs, and hopefully the tool is more stable and things work as expected. Some new functionality, autosave. Some of you have requested that I implement an autosave feature. So now if you hit the escape button and go to the menu, you realize that there's a new option that I've added here to the main menu called recover stage. So what happens if you go to settings, you can turn on autosave. This will be turned on by default and it's set at 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, Practisim Designer will save your stage to a file called recovery.stg file. And if you don't know where that is, you can click on the folder here and you open a folder in Windows or in Mac and it will take you directly to that stg file. Or if you want to load it from the recovery file, all you have to do is go to the main menu and click recover stage. So for instance, if I hit yes, it will recover the previous stage, which I don't have a previous stage. But once every 5 minutes, it will save it into that file, so you can continue to build your design, do whatever you need, and the system will continue to save your file. So if at any point in time, if the app crashes or if you're afraid that you lose your work, the next time you turn the tool back on, you just go to recover stage and you should bring back the most latest save that is made. Now, please don't rely on this as the only way to save your file. We recommend that you always keep saving your file from time to time. Save your file and then hit control, drop a few things, work for a few minutes, and then hit control S for quick save. That will be your best option, so you don't lose your hard work. Last update, I implemented a new feature called mirror stage. It's like flip, but it allows you to mirror a stage from left to right or right to left, whatever that is, right? So for instance, if I drop a few props here like this and I want to make an accurate copy of this from left to right, before it picked the middle point of the bay to mirror your stage. But now I've implemented a better control. So if you hit Control P, now it asks you to set a midpoint. Where do you want this midpoint to be, and where do you want the tool to start making a copy? So if I set the midpoint here, you see that it flips according to the midpoint. If I hit Control P, and now if I set the midpoint here, what happens is, you can imagine, you'll take all those targets on the left and then mirror it to the right. So now you have greater control over what you want to mirror. The other really cool feature, I think super cool, is the ability to export your custom groups. So let's say if I use this prop all the time, let's move this over here and move this over here, right? And let's group the targets. So let's say I take this as the parent, I group this and this together, right? So now if I go over here, you can see an option appears called Control G to export group, right? So what I do is I hit Control G, it'll ask me where do you want to save this. I just test group 2, let's say I save it as a .grp file, and once it's saved, I can at any time and point in the future load this custom group up. So let's give you an example. Let's just clear the stage. I'm working on a brand new stage. I want to load that group that I've defined in the past and use it in this new design. All I have to do is just go over to miscellaneous. You see a part next to the custom object, there's this thing called custom group. Take this and drop it down wherever you want. And now you can have the option to choose load custom group. So hit I to load custom group. Select test group 2 that I just saved earlier. And now the entire prop will come back just as I'm defined. So you can easily define your own groups, whether you want to put hardcover or if you want to put tuxedo, whatever you want, any array, any combination, and save it as a custom group. And you can load it back up as a group anytime in the future. I think that's pretty handy. The other enhancement that I made is in the written stage briefing. So if you go to stage briefing, if you view and print, you see that this is the standard stage briefing, right, with the setup notes. So what if I don't have any setup notes? That space would be wasted. So what I did was, if you click on view and print now, if your setup notes is empty, it will just automatically take over that space and gives you a bigger layout for your stage diagram. Also, print layout page is a lot more better now. So if you select print layout page, the camera will now follow the center of the bay. Previously, it was locked into one position, and some people have issues, especially when they're designing small stages or super large stages. The camera did not cover all of the props within that stage. Right now, it's a lot more intelligent. It will find the middle of the stage, and it will take a picture from the top. And so that's much improved now. Another feature that I've changed in the tutorial, the command to select all was Shift A. I've since changed that to Shift L. So Shift A will not select all for you. You just hit Shift L. Now you will select all the objects within your stage. So let's say I drop a bunch of things like this. I want to select everything and do Shift L. It's not Shift A anymore. Okay, just remember that. So a bunch of new props. Let's take a look. These props were requested by our patrons. Thank you so much for supporting. And so I give priority to all our Patreon subscribers for any requests, any issues, any bugs, any new feature requests, prop requests. You have more priority, obviously, because you're supporting the tool, right? Anyway, so let's take a look at some of these new props they've requested. The first off is a ruler. Somebody asked for this, so now we have this ability to drop a ruler on the stage. It's a 20-meter ruler. You can drop it anywhere you want. So you can drop another ruler, you can rotate it around like this, right? And you can basically set the ruler here. And now you can design the stage based on the ruler if you want to. I mean, the grid works really well for me, but some people ask for a ruler, so I implemented a ruler. The other things are, somebody asked for baffles for their bay. And so if you go to vision barriers, you see now we have baffles. So somebody's range have this wooden baffles filled with concrete to catch rounds that might be ricocheting through. So they wanted this baffle, so there you go. Hope you like that. Also, we have max trap targets now. So if you go to USPSA, we used to have a clamshell, but now we have a max trap target. So in USPSA, IPSC, and in IDPA, you have this target called a max trap. So if you drop an activator here, go to F3 and connect the activator to the two targets. Now if you go to simulation mode and the shoot this is how it looks like. Basically reveals itself and it closes. So that's called a max trap target. Also a bunch of new walls. So if you go over to vision barriers here, now we have walls with 3 ports. We also have walls with 2 vertical ports and a wall with a gigantic hole in the middle. So there you go, that's patch 1.03. I hope the tool is a lot more stable for you. If you encounter any bugs, please provide feedback. So if you go escape, go to settings and provide feedback, you have an option to now attach log files. So if you encounter a problem, just type in your problem here and tell me what you did before you encountered the problem and how often and whether you can replicate the problem every time. Just explain it here and then leave this checkbox on. When you send the feedback, the tool will package all your log files and send it to me as well so that I can diagnose and take a look at what's happening to the system. I hope you like the update. I'd like to take the time to thank our Patreon subscribers. This that I have out here. If you feel the tool is useful to you and you find a lot of benefit from it, I appreciate you supporting me in continuing to improve and advance this tool. This tool will always be free. It will be free for everybody in the shooting community to use to design stages, for USPSA, for IPSC, for anything, for most of the shooting disciplines. And I urge you to join our Discord server community, and that's where we have really good conversations about issues, and you can ask me questions, and that's the place where you get the quickest response. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and see you on the range.